Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Dave Bykowski, and on behalf of Academic Initiative and the College Options Foundation, I welcome you to the 2017 edition of the Navy Junior ROTC National Academic Bowl Championship. We started the morning with 8 teams competing for the right to be here, and 4 of them advanced to the playoffs. 2 of them won their semifinal matches, and they are up here on stage competing for the championship and the opportunity to represent the Navy in the Joint Services Championship taking place tomorrow afternoon. Closest to me here on stage with the Red Buzzers from the state of Nevada, going 5-0 in the preliminary rounds and winning their semifinal match, Ed W. Clark High School. And their opponents going 4-1 in preliminary round play and winning their semifinal match to get here from California, Troy High School. Assisting us in making today's match possible and helping out with various duties, clearing the buzzer system, we have Dr. Rowena Winkler. And our official scorekeeper, Ms. Kelly Barnard. Teams will start with a buzzer check, starting closest to me here on stage and working our way down. Please, one at a time, ring in, and using the microphone, give your name and year in school, please.
Ryan Russell, Rising Junior.
Kylie Evat, Rising Junior.
Tenchi Mata, Rising Junior.
Tio Kolakowski, Rising Senior.
Ayush Nabar, Rising Junior.
Jasper Hu, Rising Senior.
Michelle Xie, Rising Junior.
James Gilmore, Rising Junior.
Teams, do you have any questions for me before we begin? Seeing none, we will start with the first quarter. The first quarter consists of 8 toss-up questions worth 10 points each. To both teams, good luck. And here we go with toss-up question number 1. This actor won his first Oscar for playing a quadriplegic artist in My Left Foot. He screamed, "I drink your milkshake," in the film There Will Be Blood. In 2012, this actor played a president who supported the 13th Amendment. What English actor starred in Lincoln? Clark.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's incorrect. 5 seconds to ring in. Troy? Time. This is the recently retired Daniel Day-Lewis. So no points. We'll go to number 2. This condition is indicated by the naught in the constant mu naught. Evangelista Torricelli's barometer had this condition above its mercury column. The Magdeburg spheres couldn't be separated by 10 horses due to this condition inside them. Name this absence of matter. Troy?
A vacuum.
Vacuum is correct for 10 points. Number 3. The garbage city slum in this metropolis is home to a large number of refuse collectors. The Hanging Church is a Coptic place of worship in this city. A museum in this city contains statues of Khufu and Akhenaten, who were both ancient pharaohs. Name this capital of Egypt. Clark? Cairo is correct for 10 points. Number 4. This man proved mathematicians can assume either the axiom of choice or its negation. This logician also proved that any system describing arithmetic will have true statements that it can't prove. Name this Austrian developer of that incompleteness theorem. Time. No takers there. Kurt Gödel is the answer there. Number 5. This mythical woman was guarded by the bronze giant Talos after she arrived on Crete. This mother of Rhadamanthus, Sarpedon, and Minos was carried away from Tyre by Zeus, who took the form of a white bull. Name this Phoenician princess the namesake of a continent. Clark.
Ariadne.
That's incorrect. 5 seconds to ring in. Troy.
Europa.
Europa is correct for 10 points. Number 6. After World War II, this country's president, Manuel Rojas, outlawed the communist guerrilla Hooks. The Japanese army carried out the Bataan Death March in this country. That is Troy.
Philippines.
That is correct for 10 points. Number 7. Maurice Hilleman developed over 40 of these substances in the 20th century. They once used a preservative called thimerosal, and their name was coined by Edward Jenner. Name this kind of substance. Clark.
Vaccines.
Vaccine is correct for 10 points. Number 8, pencil and paper ready. Sam needs to know the circumference of a circle whose area is 121 pi. He recalls that the area... Troy.
22 pi.
Yes, 22 pi is correct. And that is the end of the first quarter. Score, as shown on screen, is confirmed. Ed W. Clark with 20 and Troy with 30. 40. That changed since I last looked. So 20 and 40. Teams, we move to the second quarter. The second quarter is the toss-up bonus round. 4 toss-ups worth 10 points each. The team that answers a toss-up correctly gets the first opportunity at a 3-part bonus totaling 30 points. Missed bonus parts will bounce to the other team who have the opportunity to steal those points. Teams, hands on your buzzers for this, the first toss-up of quarter number 2. High schooler Ryan White died of this disease, whose spread in the 1980s was discussed in the book and the band played on. The NAMES Project is a massive quilt that honors victims of this disease. Gay men have been among the principal... Clark.
HIV/AIDS.
Yes, I can take that. That's good for 10 points. We'll keep the light on there as we go through the bonus. This author is buried across from Émile Zola in France's Pantheon. For 5 points, name this novelist who criticized social inequality in Les Miserables. Captain, your answer, please.
Jean-Paul.
That's incorrect. Troy, chance to steal.
Victor Hugo.
Yes, that's correct for 5 points. Clark, we come back to you for the 10-pointer. This bell ringer, who loves the kind-hearted Esmeralda, is the title character of Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Quasimodo.
That's correct for 10. Now for 15. Hugo's last novel, 93, is set during this violent period of French Revolutionary history. The last part of Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities is also set during this period, which ended with the Thermidorian reaction.
Reign of Terror.
That's correct. So you got the last 2 for 25 points earned, 5 points stolen by Troy on the bonus there. And we move ahead to toss-up number 2. In Spanish, irregularities in this concept often arise in Greek-derived words like enigma or anagram. In German, diminutive forms have a type of this concept known as neuter. What grammatical concept allows words to be classified as masculine or feminine? Clark.
Gender.
Gender is correct for 10 points. And again, we'll keep the light on for this bonus. Pencil and paper ready. A standard 6-sided die is rolled 7 times, with the outcomes being the following: 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 5, and 5. For 5 points, what is the median of the 7 numbers?
2.
That's correct. Now for 10 points. What is the arithmetic mean of the 7 numbers? You have 10 seconds.
3.
3 is correct. And for 15 and a sweep, if the die is rolled an 8th time, What number must appear to raise the mean to exactly 3.25? Captain, your answer, please.
6.
That is incorrect. Troy?
5.
5 is correct. So 15 points stolen and 15 points earned on bonus there. Teams, keep that pencil and paper ready for this toss-up question. Amanda needs to know her father's current age, given that she is 25 years younger than him, and 9 years from now, he will be twice as old as she will be. By setting up two equations with two unknowns, she computes what current age of her father. You have 10 seconds. Time. 41 years old is the answer there. So we'll skip that bonus and go to toss-up number 4, the last one in this quarter. This is the first name of the man who composed the opera The Tenderland, as well as the ballet Rodeo. In the Bible, this name was borne by a man whose creation of a golden calf infuriated his brother Moses. Give this first name of the duelist who shot Alexander Hamilton. That is Clark.
Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr, sir, is correct for 10 points. Your bonus, answer the following about peace treaties in 5th century BC Greece. For 5, the Peace of Callias ended the war between Greece and this ancient Near Eastern empire, led at the time by Artaxerxes I. It was later conquered by Alexander the Great.
Persia.
Yes, that's good for 5. Now for 10. As part of the 421 BC Peace of Nicias, this site, sacred to the god Apollo, regained its autonomy. This site's high priestess was called the Pythia.
Delphi.
Is correct. For 15, this man who died of plague during the Peloponnesian War was the leader of Athens in 446 BC when it negotiated the 30 years peace with Sparta.
Pericles.
Pericles is right for 30 points and a sweep of the bonus. And that takes us to halftime. Score is confirmed as shown on the screen. Ed W. Clark with 120 and Troy with 60. Before we go into the third quarter, just a friendly little note here that questions for this weekend's competition are provided by National Academic Quiz Tournaments. Celebrating over 20 years in the business, NAQT organizes the premier high school, community college, and college national quiz bowl championships in North America. You can find them online at naqt.com, and they have plenty of practice material available for you. We move on to the third quarter, which is the give and take round. The team trailing at this point in the match has the choice first from the 4 categories that are available and chooses 1 category to take for themselves and 1 to give to their opponents. We play those 2 categories out, and then the other team will make their selections from the 2 remaining categories. Troy, since you trail, you get the first selection here from the 4 categories, and the categories available in this game are Greek mythology, points of intersection, acids, and finally, Iowa. So Troy, from Greek mythology, points of intersection, acids, and Iowa, which one would you like to give and which one would you like to take?
Could we take points of intersection and give them Iowa?
All right. We will start with the category you're choosing to take first, points of intersection. Probably not a surprise here to you to hear the first 4 words. Pencil and paper ready. What is the maximum number of points at which each of these pairs of shapes can intersect? For 5 points, a line and a circle. No need to ring in, you can say.
2.
Yes, that's good for 5 points. For 10 now, two concentric circles of unequal size.
0.
That's correct. For 15, two squares of equal size that have no parallel sides. You have 10 seconds.
8.
8 is correct. And now for 20 and a sweep, two parabolas with different vertices. Captain, your answer, please.
2.
4 is the right answer there. That can require an upward or downward opening parabola intersecting with a rightward or leftward opening one. So you got the first 3 right for a total of 30 points. Clark, we come to you. They have given you Iowa. Answer these questions about the city of Carter Lake, Iowa. For 5 points, Carter Lake is on the border of Iowa and what neighboring state, whose capital is Lincoln?
Nebraska.
That's correct. For 10 points, Carter Lake is a suburb of what city, which is the most populous city in Nebraska?
Des Moines.
Omaha is the right answer there. For 15, unlike the rest of Iowa, Carter Lake is west of what river that originates at the confluence of the Jefferson, Madison, and Gallatin rivers in Montana?
Missouri River.
It is the Missouri River, so that's good for 15. For 20 now, the city's namesake body of water is what type of U-shaped lake? These lakes form when a river shifts its course to cut off a curved meander. Captain, your answer, please.
Horseshoe Lake.
That is incorrect. It is called an oxbow lake, or an oxbow, or sometimes called a billabong as well. So you got the first and third ones for a total of 20 points there on the category. 2 categories remain now for you to choose from, Clark: acids and Greek mythology.
Take Greek mythology, give acids.
Okay, you're taking Greek mythology, so we will start with that category first. Answer the following about the winds in Greek mythology. For 5 points, Zephyrus represented the wind blowing from this cardinal direction. The daily chariot ride of Helios across the sky proceeds toward this direction.
West.
That's correct for 5. Now for 10. In this epic poem, Aeolus gives a bag of winds to the title hero shortly after the hero survives an encounter with the Cyclops Polyphemus.
The Odyssey.
Yes, for 15 now. Zephyrus carried Psyche to the home of this god. This son of Aphrodite often caused mischief with his magical bow and arrows.
Eros.
Yes, or Cupid, either one acceptable there. And for 20 and a sweep, this god of the north wind was the father of the flying heroes Callias and Zetes, who fought the Harpies.
Boreas.
Is correct for a total of 50 points and a sweep of the category. Job well done. Troy, we come back to you. They've given you the category acids. Name these organic acids. For 5 points, this acid with chemical formula CH3COOH is found in vinegar.
Acetic acid.
Yes, that's good for 5. Now for 10. The bodies of ants contain this acid, whose name derives from the Latin word for ant. Captain?
Sulfur.
Formic acid, or methanoic acid as well. For 15 now, both formic and acetic acids are in this class of organic acids, which possess a COOH group.
Carboxylic acids.
Is correct. And for 20 now, this 4-carbon carboxylic acid found in butter is sometimes referred to as BTA. Captain, your answer, please.
Butyric acid.
Close. Butyric acid is what we're going for there. You got the first and third parts for a total of 20 points on the category, and that is the end of the third quarter, teams. Score is confirmed as being correct as shown on screen. Ed W. Clark with 190 points, Troy with 110. Teams, the fourth quarter consists of 8 toss-ups worth 20 points each, so it is still anybody's game. Good luck to both teams. Here we go with number 1. Evolutionary biologist Stephen Jay Gould wrote a collection of essays named after the thumb of these mammals. This animal's chinling subspecies has a light and dark brown fur pattern and lives in Shanxi province. Bamboo is the primary food. Clark.
Panda.
Panda is correct for 20 points. Number 2. During this election year, vice presidential nominee Edward Everett ran on a ticket with John Bell. The Electoral College runner-up in this year was John C. Breckinridge. Hannibal Hamlin was elected vice president in what year, just prior to the outbreak of the Civil War? Clark.
1860.
That's correct for 20 points. Number 3. This author described fingers knitting for the Is It Poles in a poem about the Cambridge ladies who live in furnished souls. A stanza about people who went there came concludes his poem, Anyone Lived in a Pretty How Town. Name this poet who often did not capitalize words.
Oh, shoot.
That is Troy.
E. Cummings.
Is correct for 20 points. He didn't seem to be fond of punctuation much either. So. Number 4. This astronomical body's satellites include Leo 1 through Leo 5, the Fornax dwarf, and the Canis Major dwarf. Its center lies in the direction of Sagittarius A star, which is probably a supermassive black hole. Name this barred spiral galaxy that contains, that is Troy.
Sagittarius.
That's incorrect. I'll continue. That contains all known life. Clark.
The Milky Way galaxy.
That's correct for 20 points. Number 5, pencil and paper ready. A basketball coach needs to know how many different combinations of 5 players he can choose for the team, given that 7 people tried out. Since the order of selection does not matter, that is Troy.
21.
21 is correct for 20 points. Number 6. In January 2017, this country's Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, warned migrants to act normal or leave. A member of this country's Party for Freedom led a chant calling for this country to house fewer Moroccans. The far-right Geert Wilders is from what country, led from Amsterdam? Clark.
Netherlands.
That's correct for 20 points. Number 7. According to Vesper theory, this shape occurs in compounds where the central atom is bonded to 2 other atoms and has 3 lone pairs. Clark.
Bent.
That's incorrect. I'll continue. 3 lone pairs, such as triiodide or xenon difluoride. Carbon dioxide has what shape in which a central atom formed? That is Troy.
Linear.
Linear is correct for 20 points. Final toss-up of the game, teams. Pencil and paper ready. Cecil needs to know how many total games will be played during a 12-team round-robin tournament. Since it is a round-robin, each team will play every other team exactly once. By taking care to avoid double counting, he finds what number of games? You have Troy.
66.
66 is correct for 20 points, and that is the end of the game. A little bit higher scoring game that we've than some of the ones that we've seen. Final score has been confirmed. Ed W. Clark with 270, Troy with 190. Congratulations to Ed W. Clark High School. We will be seeing you as one of the 4 participants tomorrow afternoon in the Joint Service Championship, taking on the Air Force's representative, Scripps Ranch High School, as well as the Marine Corps' representative, Catholic High School for Boys, and the Army representative, which will be determined tomorrow afternoon. So congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Again, to both teams, great final match here, and really thanks to all of the teams competing today. Thank you very much for all of the effort that you've put in. And for those of you watching online, come back tomorrow where we will show the Army Junior ROTC Championship as well as the 2017 Joint Service Championship. Until then, have a good night. All good there.